It is hour 2 here on a Thursday, and we are very lucky at 8 a.m. every Thursday to be joined by LSU softball head coach Beth Torina. Another massive series coming up this weekend against the South Carolina Gamecocks, a top 10 series once again. But before we get there, it's also a big weekend for a great cause, the Go Teal Walk, taking place this weekend. You go to geauxteal.com. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. You can go to the website and you can click the registration link. It's all very easy, and it helps raise money and spread awareness in the battle against ovarian cancer. So, unfortunately, many of us know one person or another in our lives that has been touched by this. And this is a great event that LSU's had going on for many, many years, and it's going down this Saturday. If you want to be a part of the walk, geauxteal.com. You can also donate right there on the website as well. Coach Torina, what's going on? How are we doing today?
You did so good on all of that.
Oh,
I'm so
thank you.
impressed with you. It's like you do this for your job. My gosh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
you had all the information for the first time ever. And you read it.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
I mean, honestly, I would give the credit to your web designer, because the website's very easy to navigate in terms of like what it is, how to sign up, and so everybody listening, geauxteal.com. And again, you also get to get out to Tiger Park and walk on the field, which is very cool. And again, it's going to be a massive week in Tiger Park as LSU hits the road last Saturday, takes 2 of 3 against Georgia, and then has a beautiful midweek win over UL before now hosting South Carolina. What's going on, though, Coach? Anything to add on the Teal Walk before we get into the softball itself?
I just think it's a cool day for SEC softball. The whole SEC will be teal. All 15 teams will be in teal on Saturday. So you can check everybody out on, ESPN, SEC Network, all of the platforms. Everybody will be in teal. So a big day. And then, of course, I just like going over the symptoms. Like, women have to be their own advocate for the teal. There is no test. So if you have symptoms, cramping, back pain, feeling full, bloating, things that last longer than they should, you need to take that to your doctor, be your own advocate. And for the guys listening, it's not just for you to kind of pass it off. This is like for you to remind your wives and sisters and mothers and friends that they need to take care of themselves too.
So an incredible cause, guys, and if you can, go be a part of it this weekend. Coach, I want to ask you about what was going on in your head third inning in the midweek this week against UL, right? Because you had the great series against Georgia. You get 2 wins. The series ends on a loss, but still a positive weekend overall. Anytime you hit the road in the SEC and you take a series, that's a big win. But so it ends in a loss, and then third inning, UL jumps out to a 4-0 lead. And at that point, those are kind of some testy waters. What does it say about your team that immediately – top of the fourth, they come back, put up a 6 spot, end up pushing that game out of reach, and just kind of, resettle. They sweep the season series, but just regain all the momentum that you've had all year long?
Yeah, I don't think any of us ever felt like we were out of it. I think everyone has so much confidence in our offense and what they've done all year and their ability to score. So maybe just a little quick wake up. We were on the road, then back on the road, and moving a little slow to get it started maybe. And a little punch in the mouth, nothing like a little punch in the mouth to get you going, get you woke up in the morning, Yeah. But I think the way our offense has been swinging and producing runs, everybody felt confident.
Coach, you only have 2 losses on the season, but to see your team with both those losses bounce back and then get right back into it. I mean, you lose to Cal State, then you come back and you blank Utah, and then you have a performance like this. Like, I know you appreciate the way your team bounces back as well, because there's not been a lot of adversity this year, but when there has been adversity, they've kind of, gone back and got back on track right after that in the next game.
Yeah, they've really answered the call. Anytime they've gone down, they've been able to answer it in game. I think the Kentucky game, the middle game, the lead changed, 3 or 4 times every time they were able to answer back. So the fact that they're able to answer it, I mean, they set out to be tough this year. They set some parameters of what that looks like, and They measure it, and they're trying to be the toughest team in the country. And I think moments like that is where they show their toughness.
What were the biggest takeaways from last weekend in terms of you mentioned toughness? I mean, certainly Friday night, the thriller there with the 7th-inning win, 5-3, really taking care of business the next day after that. What was the biggest element that you learned about your team in the series win over Georgia?
I'll tell you, we hadn't felt like that yet. Like a road series in the SEC is tough to compare. We had been in friendly Tiger Park and tournament play, and we hadn't felt uncomfortable like that yet. Like their crowd did a good job, and just being in a different stadium and all the factors. Like I think it was good for especially our young players. Some of them that was their first SEC series. 9 newcomers to this program this year. So I think it was good for us, and it was uncomfortable, and we weathered the storm in that game.
Now you get to come back home, as you mentioned there, but as we talk about every single week when we have you on, Coach, you've got a team with a number next to their name because that's what it is in SEC softball. This time it's going to be South Carolina, number 10 team in the country. What have you seen so far from them on tape?
Well, it's a new coaching staff, and it's virtually an entirely new team. Like as we were going through the scout, I mean, there's one name that is familiar to us on this team since we played them last time. So it is an entirely new team, a lot of transfers, new arms, and they are pretty traditional softball. They swing it pretty well. They have 3 good arms. So, we'll see how that plays in Tiger Park. But, I think it'll be a good matchup. They've done a really nice job, this coaching staff in their first year. They've done a really nice job of just maximizing what they have with this team. And they've earned their way to the top, which is kind of cool. Like they started unranked, and they've earned their way to this ranking. So they've played well.
Well, and Coach, statistically right now, your team is dominant. I mean, all categories on the mound, offensively, defensively, ranking near the top of the SC, top of the country in a lot of cases. What is the pitching plan for this weekend?
On our side, you mean?
Yes.
I think we'll just continue to attack them with our best arms. I don't think any of us pitched as well as we could have against Georgia. I think everybody had moments they would like back, and we've worked hard this week to try to clean some things up. I thought Jaden Hebner was really good on Tuesday night against ULL. I thought she did a really good job there, attacked the zone in a tough zone there too on Tuesday. So I think that was good for her to kind of bounce back from that. And then Sydney is Sydney, man. If we run 29 out there, we got a chance to win a ball game, right?
Yeah, Burzon's incredible. Hey, what did you think about the now this is not LSU, but it was a softball record. What was your reaction to the 78-mile-an-hour pitch that we witnessed last week, equivalent of 110 on the mound from the men's side?
This was a big talk at practice yesterday, And some of the girls just think like it's the coolest thing ever, right? Like just cool for our sport. Like they're like, man, hats off. That's legit. She threw 78. Why are we knocking it? Why are we saying bad stuff about it? Like it's 78 miles an hour. So I think our team was pretty impressed by it. And it's somebody they're really familiar with. I think they faced her 3 times last year. We played Tennessee in the SEC tournament too. So somebody they're familiar with. So I think it's cool for them to see that too. But it's incredible how our sport's growing and how these athletes just continue to get better and better.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Coach. I mean, you're obviously familiar with being on the mound in the SEC. What was your best miles per hour, and how much has that grown over the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, you could probably just catch mine barehanded and just flip it on back, So we don't have to go there. That was a long time ago. I think the mound was further back then or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane. It's baseball, it's softball. The skill of these athletes, the power they're able to generate. I just have no idea how it's even physically possible to do that with that motion. But if anybody can hit it, though, Coach, it's your team. 8 starters hitting 330 or better, 5 hitting over 400. Of course, Dan McCoffey leading the way, 4th in the country with a 633 on base percentage. Normally, I know we approach things from the kind of mound with you, but what's been the key to such a offensive success throughout the top of the lineup, or throughout the entire lineup this year?
I think the energy around our offense is just awesome. And Bryce and Sandra and Zach, they've all done such a good job of just preparing our team, And I think like the big thing too is they're utilizing our strengths. You know, they've like relabeled some categories. They're trying to earn some different things within the game, you know, and just really try to capitalize on the things that we do well. And it's really cool to see, you know, the talk yesterday was like, we scored 11 runs on Tuesday, and I think Danica was 0 for 4. Like, it's pretty cool that, like, it's not about any one person. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times it feels like, oh my gosh, Danica's not on base, but like we scored 11 without Danica. And then, you know, same thing Saturday at Georgia. I mean, Jayla Laster, 4 for 4 with a grand slam. Like, I just think it can be anybody's day, any day we play, which is a really cool thing about this offense. We're not just dependent on any one person. It's really an overall team offensive concept.
Again, guys, get out to Tiger Park this weekend. I think we're going a little Saturday night berm action. Cannot wait. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. LSU, South Carolina, top 10 matchup. And Saturday morning, the Go Teal Walk, 9:30 a.m. Go sign up. Been doing this all the way since 2013. And it's you know, there's been some crazy years. Back in 2019, over 1,000 walkers. Let's try to beat that number this weekend and help in the fight against ovarian cancer, raising awareness. Go to geauxteal.com. That's geauxteal.com. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
You guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.